Hello, everyone. I am Trina Boyd, and I am so excited because this is my first podcast. Just to give you a little bit more information about me, I am Trina Boyd. I'm the founder of Women in Power. Women in Power is a nonprofit organization, and what Women in Power do, we help women in business. So we help them with learning how to write grants for their businesses. I also have members who are nonprofit organizations, and then we also teach on business credit that helps you start your business or scale your business. And then also I help and teach on government contracting for women owned businesses. A lot of women don't know that there's $2.3 billion set aside for women owned businesses. So I teach on how to win some of that money that is available to women owned businesses. So I am so excited because this is my first podcast, like I said, and this is more so my organization, and what I talk about is more Christian based. I do include God in everything I talk about. It's just natural for me to do that. So if you hear me talk about God, you will hear me talking about God a lot. So with that being said, on this particular podcast and future podcasts, we are going to be mixing and talking about how to get grant funding, places you can look for grant funding. I'm also going to be talking about how to win those grants. I'm also going to be talking about business credit, government contracting, everything I teach and tap onto with Women in Power. I'm going to gear that over to this particular podcast. So let's get into it. So today I'm actually going to be talking about grants that you can apply for as a woman-owned business in 2024 2024 for women-owned businesses. I will kind of go into also if you are a nonprofit where you can get some grant funding as well. All right, so let's get into the first grant you should be applying for if you are a woman-owned business in 2024. So the first website I'm going to give you is iFundWomen.com. So iFundWomen.com is a website. So what they do is like they house different grants. So for example, they may have maybe 20 different organizations that they actually will take on for grants. So they may be, I've seen Caress as a actual company that give out grants for women in the beauty industry. So iFundWomen.com have different types of grants. If you go to their website and click on Get Funding, you'll be able to see the different grants that they have. So I will say a lot of times what happens with um, iFundWomen.com is a lot of times their grant applications or cycles are closed because they are going off the grant funder. So if the grant funder application cycle is closed, then of course their cycle is going to be closed as far as giving out that money. But what I suggest to do, once you go to iFundWomen.com, you'll be able to do a universal application. So what is a universal application? A universal application is like a basic information where you put in your name of your business, your website, any of your social media accounts, and then they do ask some questions at the end. But I do encourage you to do that because what happens is once you do that full application, then they'll start emailing you once the grant cycle opens back up. So another thing I like to say is what I do as a small business and a nonprofit, I actually, if I know a grant is about to open up, or I know it's not open, but I know around what year or around what month that they're going to be open, then what I actually do, I'll put it on my calendar. So if I know like one of the grants is FedEx, like FedEx give out money every single year. So in that particular instance, what I do, I put it on my calendar so that way my calendar will notify me of that particular grant and when it's going to open. So iFundWomen.com is the same way. So it will notify you once those grant cycles or grant applications will open up. And I highly encourage you, if you're a woman-owned business, you want to be at iFundWomen.com. I do want to say that I hold monthly grant writing classes every single month. And one of the things that I do teach is how to do a full grant application as a small business and as a nonprofit. So it's two different classes, they're separate. So we have separated that. So I have a class for if you're a for profit. And the great thing about when I teach these classes is that I teach you how to write these grants using AI. And the great part about that is if you're using AI when you write these grants and learn how to edit, your answers and stuff, you would be able to write grants in record time. So you don't have to worry about sitting on the computer all day long trying to figure out how to write this grant. AI will do it for you, and I do mine. I teach you how to do that in a special, particular, strategized way, so you don't have to worry about it even knowing that you're writing that grant using AI. So that's the first website is iFundWomen.com. The second website that I would suggest to sign up for is HelloAlice.com. So Hello Alice is a great website for women-owned businesses. What they do, they pretty much are similar to iFundWomen.com, but the difference between iFundWomen.com and Hello Alice is that Hello Alice have grants to give out every single month. So every month, you're probably going to be getting a notification on your email with a grant. So these grants for Hello Alice that I have seen, they range from $1,000 to up to $50,000. The average grant for HelloAlice.com is $10,000. So that's the average between $10,000 to $15,000. I highly encourage you to sign up. They will email you once different grant funders come onto their website or partner with them to actually give that money out to you. I have seen different banks that, a lot of times they tell you the bank that they're dealing with who's actually giving the money out, but they also just call that particular grant a special name. So one grant that's out right now, and that will remain open until April 2024. It's the American Dream Grant. That grant is for $1,000. Okay, so that's that one. But I highly encourage you to get on HelloAlice.com if you are a woman-owned business and start writing those grants. Like I said, if you need help, I do my monthly classes. I always have that link posted for you. And then I also want to say that one of my students, she actually attended my master class and she won 2 grants from HelloAlice.com. So, that is amazing. She won 2 grants. It was like back to back. And I want to emphasize that I taught her how to use AI to write those grants. So, it's amazing that once you actually start applying and start doing the work, right? Because you have to do the work in order for it to work for you. And that's one of the things I see some women, they get the information but they don't apply it. I don't know if it's fear or whatever, but I come against the spirit of fear in your business, in your nonprofit, and I decree in 2024 that you are going to go forth in what God has called you to do. All right, so the next grant that you should be applying for, I just talked about it, is the American Dream Grant, but the American Dream Grant is actually on the Hello Alice website. So the American Dream Grant is on the Hello Alice website. So that's only for $1,000. It's a great grant if you are a startup grant. I think the qualifications for those is that they have different categories of they'll name that particular grant. So one of the grants that they have under the American Dream Award grant is the Heroes Grant. So, but it's really telling a story. So one of the things that I noticed with Hello Alice, their applications are pretty much the same as far as what they're asking you. They may have like one question that may differ from application to application, but a lot of times they're pretty much asking you the same questions every single time. I do notice with Hello Alice, if you do not get approved for a particular grant, they don't tell you why and they don't give you any feedback. So just keep that in mind when you are applying for anything with HelloAlice.com. So as before I got on to this particular video or podcast, I do want to say that I was looking for some grants. And one way you can look for grants that'll come up easily for you is by Googling the grants, y'all. So that's one strategy that I have been using when I initially started talking about grants. I started Googling grants for women-owned businesses or grants for African American women, and I was able to find a plethora of grants available for women-owned businesses or minority businesses. Well, I do want to say that women-owned businesses are considered minorities. So that's one of the reasons that the government have so much money available for women-owned businesses. All right, but the grant that I'm going to tell you about, if you are a woman-owned business, is called the Bold Beginnings Grant. So it's called the Bold Beginnings Grant. So that particular grant is for $25,000. I did not look at the qualifications, but you can actually Google the grant Bold Beginnings, and then it will come up for you, and you can apply. You can look at the requirements for that. But those are some grants, a few grants I'm going to continue to talk about, grants that you can apply for as a woman-owned business throughout this podcast episodes that I give you. But I wanted to start off with a few. And then also, if you are a nonprofit organization, if you know me or if you don't know me, but you're going to get to know this particular grant if you are a nonprofit, because this particular grant is so easy for you to get. You can apply for this grant that I'm about to tell you. You can apply for this grant up to 25 times per year, and it's for $5,000. So it's for $5,000, and you can apply up to 25 times per year. And the name of this grant, if you are a nonprofit organization, is called the Walmart grant. So the Walmart grant is a super easy grant to apply for. I've gotten it several times as a nonprofit organization. But you can get it as well. All you have to do is apply. You also have to be a 501c3 as well. But it's a super easy grant. It literally will take you about 10 minutes to actually apply for that grant. They basically ask you for basic information. They don't even really ask you to write. And when I say to write, like you're actually just putting in your nonprofit organization's name, website, tax ID number, and the name of your program. And that's it. So that you're not really writing anything compared to if you're writing a full grant proposal. The Walmart grant does not even ask you for they do not ask you to write anything. So that's amazing. But I definitely, if you're a nonprofit, I want you to be applying for the Walmart grant every single month. So that's that. So I do want to talk about, though, grants that I will not be applying for in 2024. I didn't even apply for them in 2023, but I want to talk about grants that I will not be applying for in 2024. So the first one is going to be the SoGal Foundation grant. So I will not, and I encourage you not to apply for those grants or for that particular grant, only because SoGal, they do charge a fee. I don't know how much the fee is. It's a small fee, but they do charge a fee. And one of the things I like to tell people when I'm upfront about when it comes down to grants and grant writing is that no, you're not guaranteed to get that grant. You're not guaranteed to get that grant. So because you're not guaranteed to get that grant, then you may have just wasted, $20 or however much. I don't know what they charge, but they do charge a small fee. So I will not be applying for that particular grant in 2024. The second grant that I highly encourage you not to apply for is the Amber grant. So the Amber grant, they charge a fee as well. The only difference between SoGal and the Amber grant is that the Amber grant, I've actually seen recipients. The SoGal Foundation, I have never, ever seen any recipients. So if you have ever received a grant from Soul Gal Foundation, reach out to me. Only because I've never seen any recipients of the Soul Gal Foundation. And I would love to interview you if you are a recipient of the Soul Gal Foundation. But as of today, I have not seen any recipients. The Amber Grant, I have seen recipients, even though you're paying a fee. I don't know how people feel about paying a fee. Let me know in the comments how you feel about paying a fee to apply for a grant that you may or may not get, even if it's a small fee, $10, $15, or whatever. Let me know how you feel about applying for grants and having to pay a fee. But as for me, I will not be applying for those grants. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is another grant that you can apply for if you are a woman-owned business. And the grant, if you're a woman-owned business, you want to apply to Women Empowers Grant. So one of the things I have noticed with women, and I have been in business for over 10 years. And when I initially started my business, I actually started my business using my own money. I know the power in investing in yourself, but some people may not have, or some people may not be able to scrape up a couple thousand or $3,000 for websites, for equipment, but I scraped it up. I was able to start my first business, was the child care, home daycare. And I was very determined to save up little by little to actually get equipment for my home daycare. I started in Georgia. And once I moved from Georgia, I moved that home daycare to North Carolina. But I was a single mom when I actually started that business. A lot of people don't know that, but I was a single mom starting these businesses because I had 2 children at that time that I had to take care of. And I was not going to fail them. I was not going to fail my children. So what I did, I thought about what I am passionate about, something I can do from home, because of course, as a single mom, I didn't want to put my kids in daycare and probably couldn't even afford it. I probably could, I don't know. But either way, I was like, what am I passionate about? So God gave me a home daycare. He gave me a home daycare to do. I started taking kids. And then as I got bigger and bigger, guess what I did? I actually secured a building in Georgia. But little to know, as far as I didn't know the cost of what it takes to open a larger daycare, because there's so much stuff that you have to do. I was looking at least $50,000, and as a new business, single mom, even though I'm doing great in my home daycare, I wasn't raising enough money to actually get all that, done. So, Women Empower, and me just thinking about Women Empower is giving out grants. So we're going to be doing anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. So the beginning part of the $2,000 to $2,000 or between that will help someone who is a new business trying to start their business and trying to get websites or equipment or whatever it is that you need for your new business. That will help give you a boost to become successful, to be serious about your business. So that's what we're doing in 2024. We're giving out grants, we're giving out sponsorships. We want to sponsor events. So like, I know what it takes to pull off an event, and I know I see some, events I've seen in the past. I can tell they're new because, certain things has to be executed a certain way in order to look and do things in excellence, right? So we're giving out sponsorships in 2024, and I'm so excited to do that. But I want to, and Women in Power wants to sponsor your event, especially if it's a woman, if you're a woman-owned business, you want to sponsor your event. I have not started any application process, but really people are just emailing me their sponsorships, their sponsorship decks. And we're taking a look just to see if that's something that we want, if we wanted to sponsor your event. But if you're a woman-owned business, we are national too. I do want to say that Women in Power, we have members all over the United States of America. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but you don't have to be a member for us to sponsor you. You don't have to be a member to get grants, but we do have membership open if you're looking to grow your business, start a business, if you are looking to scale your business. Women Empower, that's what we do. We do that through coaching. You get monthly mentorship with me. You also, and that's over the phone. And then you also get monthly grant writing classes, which I'm about to do a grant writing class right now. And we do teach you about business credit, how to build your business credit up so you can get funding for starting or scaling. And then lastly, I teach you how to get government contracts. So I teach you how to scale to, and for government contracting to 7 figures, because there are 7-figure contracts out there for you. Also, you have the local government, but I teach on federal government. We do have a special guest coming on Wednesday. She's going to be talking about the local government. So that's another thing that you get as a member. You get a lot of information, and you can apply that information as long as you can, set that time aside, especially if you work full time and you're trying to get it together. But I will always have our membership link available for you if you want to ever join Women in Power. And I will also have those grant writing classes links if you ever, it's every month, if you ever want to come to a class. But I am so excited just to do this video. This is something God has been calling me to do podcasting and YouTubing. So yeah, I'm excited to just share this information and continue on this journey with you all and give you all this good information and just get it out of my brain to give to y'all, okay? But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching and have a great one.